Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be switching it on up and go back to our roots here of Scream, which is what we started this channel with about 2 years ago, almost, well, probably a year and a half ago or so, before we took that brief little break. But um, we're just going to throw it back here to Scream 1 since Scream 7 is coming on out here. It's starting tomorrow. I'm not watching it until like the second week of March, so I'm just going to go through the first six movies here, and then I will go through that one as we get there. But Scream originated back in the 90s. I think it was like 97 or 98. If you guys are just getting into horror movies, I highly recommend checking out Scream to start, or slashers for that matter, just because it's probably one of the best slashers, if not the best slasher to watch, in my opinion. A lot of the movies hit, and they do something different than what the 70s, 80s, 90s did with slashers, because we see different killers in each movie essentially. So we start off this movie with Drew Barrymore, just playing a high schooler who picks up a phone call from a random stranger. The stranger does have a voice changer here. It's either, well, we'll talk about the killers later on, but she's making some popcorn and just kind of walking around the house. The killer here in this movie essentially just gives her a call and asks her, like, what's her favorite scary movie. Goes on with scary movie details. And that's kind of like the gist of how the calls begin within a lot of these movies, just because it's a simple line and it's kind of entertaining to watch every time. Um, but she goes around walking around the house, eventually runs into the Ghostface Killer, who is either Billy Loomis or Stumacher, which I'm pretty sure it's Stumacher in this first scene. It's hard to judge. People try breaking it down, but um, some of them they're really, really hard to judge. Um, but her and her boyfriend are taken out there by Stumacher to start. Which then cuts to us seeing like the whole friend group that we follow within this movie. The friend group's great. I love like every single character in that friend group, just because everything kind of flows nicely and everyone just seems to be, I don't know, gelling well as a cast. Like I really love this first one. Um, but we see this projected all over the news. Gail Weathers, who is the weather person dash news reporter dash whatever you want her to be within these movies, does a great job of covering things, but she also does get really annoying within these movies. One of the things like I didn't notice right away is when you see Billy Loomis and Stu Macher talking with the friend group, they kind of give subtle hints towards what they've been doing. And then you kind of match up like some of the shoes they're wearing and everything like that. It kind of just um, makes sense later on. It doesn't make sense right away. It makes that didn't point out like I didn't notice those small details personally. But moving on from there, we just see Sydney picking up a phone call, going through her little spiel with Ghostface, and then she runs in to the killer here. Shortly after that, if I had to take a guess, this is probably Billy in just this moment because it's just kind of convenient. Um, from there, she locks herself in a room, gets a hold of the police. They later come and Billy, magically appears and like saves her in a sense, but he's got a phone on him, and then it kind of gives him away. Um, he gets arrested. Dewey, takes him in. They can't really hold him much for booking wise because they don't really have like anything on him outside of the phone. His dad comes in there and essentially bails him out. We got both puppies down here. That doesn't happen often. And she's whining in my ear. And then we just go through a whole spiel within the middle parts of the movie. I'm not going to break down every little, fight here. Sydney sees Cotton on TV for the first time. Cotton's accused of murdering her mother before these movies even began. Um, a bunch of different talking between Billy and Sydney here, just trying to get him back on her side, and or her trying to get him back on. It's a lot of talking. Like you guys got to definitely watch it. It's a lot of fun. But we see just a bunch of different things happening throughout this movie. My favorite part of almost all these movies is the fact that they refer to a bunch of other slashers and other horror movies because they like to like reference a bunch of different slashers and kind of how it goes. Randy in this movie is great at that because he really depicts it. And if you guys want to watch like the Scream series, I highly recommend that too because they break it down really, really good in that as well. Um, these are my puppies. They really want some attention right now. But yeah, a lot of fun moments here within this movie. I really enjoy it, like I said, just because there's a lot. of different references, and I love the cast. Everything about this is great. But um, we go forward with that movie. Like I said, we're at the movie store, Blockbuster, whatever it might be. I don't know what it's called here within this movie. They're talking some stuff there with Stumacher, who ends up being one of those killers. Randy had a suspicion about both him and Billy, but they never like show it in those moments with Randy, so he can't really accuse him. Tatum within this movie is great. She's a great character to have. She goes through a whole spiel of things of dealing with Stumacher and then being Sydney's friend, trying to make sure everything's good. She ends up in the garage in one of the scenes, grabbing some beers at the party, and this is where she meets her demise, as she is taken on out the garage here. But she's taken out by the garage door there, so which I really like. And when they recreate Scary Movie, they reference this, which is really great because she's taken out, which to me isn't a really logical death within the movie. 'Cause I don't think a garage door would do that personally, but we see her taken on out, and then it's this whole party of Randy's basically talking about everything like horror movie related. Oh, don't say I'll be back, or if you're a virgin, then you're safe within these movies, and this and that, and it's just a lot of fun because we see a bunch of different things happen here, and I really enjoy it. Especially from like the party end of things because it makes sense. Like you're gonna be in high school, see people partying like that, and then do some stupid stuff, and then it's kind of just left with the main crew after that because a bunch of them leave, which is nice because we don't have to worry about too much there, and um, we kind of get more of a story between like Dewey and Gale, who Gale's just trying to manipulate here in a sense, and then we kind of see um, Sydney and Billy and a bunch of other people just kind of coming together and figuring things out. Like Billy is supposedly like dead within one of these scenes, and here to find out, Stu Macher's just going around, terrorizing some people, and he was the one who pretended to stab Billy there. And then we get towards the end of them showing who they are, what the motive is. They're kind of tormenting Sydney a little bit with like the car and a bunch of other stuff. And my favorite part here of the movie is when they reveal like why they're doing it, because I feel like it's the most serious acting we've seen from Billy in the whole movie, and Stu Macher's hilarious during this time. Everything he does is just funny, from the way he holds like the gun, he's like "Bukak" or whatever, and the way like Billy's just kind of holding her hostage and like in a sense like grooming her in those moments, like it all just like fits because you got the one like Psycho and Billy, and then you just got one Looney Tune and like Stu Macher, and it's just hilarious. Great combo, and this is by far one of my favorite, if not the favorite movie. I think it is my favorite within the franchise, so I highly recommend checking it on out. Um, but we see them reveal that they captured her dad, and then that's the reason he's not checked into a hotel. And then they reveal that they were the ones who actually took out Sydney's mom, and reasons behind that were because her mom was kind of just going around sleeping around with everyone. And that's the reason her Billy's parents split, and um, that comes up in the second one and later on as well. So again, I highly recommend checking this on out. I am getting used to doing longer videos of this, so just bear with me. It might be a little all over the place from time to time, but um, appreciate you guys for stopping on by. My goal is to do a breakdown like this for each movie, and then at the end, after I watch the seventh one, I want to do like a full timeline dash story of everything and kind of put some good editing into it. During that time, it may take a few extra days just to edit the video, but I think it'll all be worth it during those moments. But I appreciate you guys for stopping on by. I hope you guys enjoy these movies. Again, I highly recommend checking it out. It's a lot of fun. They are great. Some of them get a little off the line, but it's a lot better than some franchises with their bad movies. So, until next time, guys, I'll see you.